And we should be live. Let me go ahead and check. It says we're live, but are we?
Yes, we are.
Well, I got an ad. I'll skip that. And yes, we are in fact live. Awesome. All right. Hello, everyone. Ace here. Welcome to today's live stream. I'm joined today with returning guest Nathan X2000.
Thank you for having me on this Christmas Eve special.
Thank you for being on this Christmas Eve. And today we are back with some more Star Wars The High Republic Adventures, Dispatches from the Occlusion Zone. And let me double check, because I know who's writing it this issue, but let's see who wrote it. Yeah, they're different writers. So I guess... So the first issue was Daniel Jose Older, the second issue was Alyssa Wong, third issue we're going right back to Daniel Jose Older.
Yeah, the moment you started talking about it, goes, oh, like, let me check who wrote this. I'm like, well, if it's different writers, maybe it's good. And then I just see, like, DJO on the bottom, like, oh, no, it's not. It's not going to be good.
Yeah, Daniel
It's going to be more pain and suffering.
It's like seeing an LJN logo on a game box.
Yeah.
Alright, let's continue. Let's see how many people actually had to read this comic before it became publicly available. So we have Daniel Jose Older, naturally. So that's 1. 2 writers, so that's 2 and 3. An editor, so 4. An assistant editor, 5. A senior editor, 6. An associate editor, 7. And then the Lucasfilm story group, so 8, 9, and 10. So once again, 10 people had to read the plot of this comic before it became publicly available. Apparently this is the Barren Moon, and it's part of Marooned on a Lava Moon. Okay. Paul Schlock says the holiday special of Star Wars comics. The Laughing Cavalier says, oh, please say Life Day makes an appearance in one of these. Oh, you know there's going to be a Life Day comic. The sad part of it is, it's probably going to still make it a superior comic. The sad part is, right, we're at the point where even the Star Wars Holiday Special is an improvement over at least some things that are Disney Star Wars. Such as The Acolyte, or indeed this.
It treats the canon way better, which if you told somebody, 20 years ago, that the Star Wars Christmas special would be considered more canon than what they produce in the future, people would have called you fucking mad.
At least the holiday special gave us Boba Fett.
Exactly. What was it, Boba Fett riding a gigantic brontosaurus with, a rifle? God, what a treasure.
Well, Ferry says, please God, it would be so funny. Right now we have the, of course, well, later on, in a few weeks, it's already out now, but I'm waiting for the end of the year because I don't want to read this on Christmas Eve or Christmas. Or I don't want to read it on Christmas Eve or Christmas or New Year's Day, but the Wedding Spectacular is out.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, I've just realized what you were talking. Oh God, no! What poor soul are you gonna rope in to read that?
It's gonna be a group effort, I think.
Ooh.
Because, like with the Galactic Bake Off Spectacular, it deserves special attention.
Yes, it does.
And I haven't even read it yet. Laughing Cavalier says, the less said about Grandpa Wookiee and his WoW machine, the better. Yes. Paul says, Itchy using that wank chair in the living room is more canon than these comics. Alfair says, oh my god, Ace, we gotta do a special on that. Yes, I agree. Alright, so, as we could tell, I've noticed that at least with a few things that Disney is no longer tying High Republic to the Acolyte. which is a damning statement about the Acolyte, but I would argue the Acolyte is still not as bad as this. It's just the Acolyte is much more higher profile than this, so...
Yeah, it's like the question of what came first, the chicken or the egg, but this time is what's more damaging, the High Republic or the Acolyte?
I would still say the High Republic, because it's considered canon, and it therefore has an impact on the lore, as is the Acolyte, but the High Republic is way more damaging to the lore, even if it's more obscure. So, you know.
Yeah. Like I said, the Acolyte's a lot more high profile. It's more shit that normies would go see because it's sort of advertised as, like a TV show, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Or as a movie, I can't fucking recall.
It is a TV show.
TV show, okay. Yeah, a lot more normies would have seen that, but the High Republic, I think, is more toxic in the fact that if you read that, you're like, Jesus Christ, what did they do? What they can get away with not as many eyes is on it.
Stein Lol Boy says, this comic issue shows that the Nihil have no compelling villains or want to develop them. Honestly, I would say that even then, you're not wrong. You're not entirely wrong. On the other hand, I would say that the Warden or Markion Ro have both been more interesting, even if slightly, than most of the High Republic heroes. It's just that they really screwed up they actually butchered Markion Ro a little bit, what with the Shadows of Starlight series, where they made it so he sits on his ass for months on end without doing anything. But between...
fun fact, actually. So I was looking up Latin the other day for like a project I was doing, and I came across the word nihil, or the nihil. Do you know what nihil means in Latin?
To not care?
Close enough. It means nothing. Nihil means nothing, literally, which is probably like the accurate statement of like what you could say. Oh, what does the High Republic offer the Star Wars like continuity? Nothing.
See, at least when the Neverending Story, when the main character was fighting the Nothing, at least that was interesting. Because the Nothing was supposed to be the death of art in general. Or more specifically in literature, but still it was the death of art.
Yeah, it's got a more like sort of eldritch sense to it.
Yes. And it's far more interesting as a result. Even though it's able to command monsters and whatnot to do its bidding as well, but, let's see. Laughing Cavalier says the power of many did not have enough power to get renewed. Yes. Slow Burn says egg. Diego Hernandez says hello, Ace. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Diego Hernandez. Paul Schluck says nihilism.
Yeah, that is true. That probably would be the root of the word then.
Yeah. Alright, so let's carry on. Star Wars The High Republic, Trials of the Jedi. Since Markion Ro first unleashed his lethal nameless creatures upon the galaxy, Jedi Master and Sleuth Emmerich Kaftor has tirelessly sought a means of combating their debilitating effects on the Jedi. With a brutal showdown looming between the Republic and the Nihil, his quest has become all the more vital. Accompanied by an X-droid launched into the Occlusion Zone by his Republic allies, Emmerich has now embarked on another desperate mission to investigate the origins of the Nameless and find a way to defeat them. Let's see if this guy's story is any more interesting than that group of Jedi that are just reading books or reading hollow books in the temple to see if they find out where the Nameless came from.
God, I fucking hope so.
How do we defeat the Nameless? By being even more neat. Nihil Space.
So, sorry. Who's voicing who then?
All right. Well, I guess I could voice, or you want to voice this character?
Yeah, go on.
All right. Nahil Space, Saswana Sector near Iridu.
Now that you have my coordinates, please meet as soon as possible for the pickup. This is not a safe area to linger. Cygnus 5, out.
Click. Vzz.
Greetings, Jedi of the Republic. This is Master Emmerich Kaftor, recording from within the Occlusion Zone. My research into the Nameless points back to where it may have started, the volcanic moon, Varant Tarnum. It's deep in a Nihil-infested sector, but I've discovered a guide who can lead me there safely. Sent out a transmission just now, and hopefully he'll get there before...
Vom.
Oh well.
Whoopsie-daisy. Sending out a transmission might not be the best move.
No. Okay, this is going to be the only time I'm going to give props. That thing looks fucking ridiculous. Like, that thing looks like it comes from the Star Wars Expanded Universe. Giant mecha space death crab.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah, although to be fair, I'm pretty sure we've already seen this in Phase 1 at one point or another. But yeah.
I might have missed it.
Yeah, it's okay. Attention, tired and useless Jedi of the broken down and pathetic Republic. Without much trouble at all, we managed to capture one of your beloved knights, Emmerich Kaftor. We found him because he was sending out broadcasts trying to link with the black market smugglers. Typical Jedi hubris. By the time this old X-unit crosses back over the storm wall to deliver this message, Kaftor would be dust, I'm afraid. But not before... But he's told me everything he discovered about the Nameless.
And what makes you think I would ever do that?
Simple. Because I've studied you, Emmerich Kaftor, Jedi investigator, and you're more like me than you'd ever want to admit.
Interesting. Please elaborate.
Simple, really. We've both been infected with the same relentless parasite. It creates a vast emptiness within that must be fed and fed and fed. The only thing that will satiate it is knowledge. Knowledge about the Nameless, to be precise.
That's a fascinating theory. I still don't see why.
Because Emmerich Kaftor... We're already approaching Vrantarnum. And when we arrive, you will show me exactly what missing pieces of this puzzle you have.
Ah. You might want to take evasive actions.
And why would we want to do that?
Well... Some of those drone satellite traps Maki and Ro left behind weren't deactivated last time we were here, and...
Dr. Drindo, sir? It's Niv Drindo Apruk, and I'm not a... Okay, Dr. Niv Drindo, sir, we've got incoming.
And, you know, they can be tricky to avoid.
Well, then do something.
Bam, 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Isn't it a shame that they made this character up to be slightly interesting with his writing? Slightly. And then immediately they establish that he is a complete dumbass.
Yes. I often say to people that Disney is like... Just think of the story of, like, King Midas. You know, everything he turns to gold.
Mm-hmm.
But Disney, it's like shit. Everything it touches just turns to liquid shit.
Yep. Alright, let me read some of the comments here. Paul Schluck says, S, is that from The Matrix? I don't know. Laughing Cavalier says, did they have a dartboard with random syllables when picking names for these characters? Maybe. Alfarius says, yeah, that does it. She says, hello there. Paul says, we're not so different, you and I. Laughing Cavalier says, the parasite is called Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Yes. Siege says, just arrived and I'm already lost because the comic is woke. And everyone died. Yep. Paul Schluck says, oh my, what wacky hijinks have they found themselves in now? Let's find out. Away. Get up, you Dolodite scrapjacks. This will take hours to repair. Get started. And you. You're coming with me.
Where are we going?
To the cavern, you twit. Don't try anything funny.
I haven't tried to be funny since I was 10.
He says as he's making a joke.
Yeah. As if, like, the past several pages he hasn't been trying to fuck with the bald dude.
Thank you for that clever writing there, Daniel Jose Older.
Clearly the top of his craft.
I mean, he's not the only one. The artwork isn't exactly the best either. I'm already noticing issues. Like, this top panel here, the thumb on his hand there as he's pointing a specific area with his arm is clearly messed up.
Jesus.
The middle right panel, the eyes on him. On discount Megamind here are... Yeah.
He's missing an entire ass pupil. He's missing an entire ass eye.
Because drawing is hard.
Oh no, drawing for a static image in a comic book with only 20 pages. Oh, woe is me. Pay me 50 grand now, Disney.
Laughing Cavalier says... Seed says, oh wait, they're not dead. Now I'm even more... Yeah, that too. We just immediately went from the mines and stuff exploding all around the ship to not seeing them land, not seeing just how badly the ship got blown up, not seeing anything like that at all. It just immediately skips to they're on the surface.
Yeah, you mean the comic book had a chance to be interesting, a chance for, a little bit of action, a little bit of a, we're getting attacked by space mines, and now all of a sudden we need to evade, maneuver stuff, check if everyone's okay. No, just skips to the boring part.
Yeah, let's ignore all the interesting things and let's ignore the action. Let's purposely cut out the action of a comic book just so we could get more story. That's not even all that interesting because they made the one character that's new and could have had an interesting start. They made him out to be a complete dumbass. And let's see if they do even more to demonstrate his stupidity. Yes, they did, by making him take this guy, this Jedi Knight, out there alone.
It's like that robot from the old Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon that just nails that sign in the ground like no fun allowed. That's gonna be the entirety of this comic. Fuck you and all the interesting shit you want to see.
Paul Schluck says, I didn't even know they landed. I thought it was still in space. Yeah, you would think that's what would have happened, but the problem is I'm so used to the stupidity of High Republic and how it's written that I kind of immediately realized that that they had already landed and they just skipped all the action because, action is boring. We need more story.
We need more exposition. They don't want to see fighting and explosions. We need dialogue.
Going on a romantic walk together. I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Hazelder thought that this would be a romantic walk, or tries to write it that, or something.
To be fair, Race, I wouldn't be surprised if you thought it was a romantic walk, because when you said the line before, I knew you're coming with me, you said it in such a way that was like the start of a porno. It's like, you're coming with me.
She says, I am the frog on the table. I grew up here, you know. How would he know that, for one? He just met you, as far as I'm aware. Two, if you grew up here, why would you need him to scout the place out for you? And why would you not be aware that there's a bunch of traps that might still be active over, you know, your home fucking planet? It seems like one of those things that you might keep tabs on from now and then. Hey, how are things going back at home? Oh, what's this? A bunch of traps are floating around in space?
Yes.
Wow, it's a good thing I've read this. We should probably make, if I ever go back there, I should probably take precautions.
Yet he's calling his mum and dad. Goes, hey, how's the planet that I grew up on for many years of my life? Oh, you know, same old, massive sun in the distance, a bit of volcanic activity. Oh, by the way, the planets are surrounded in explosive mine satellites. You might want to be careful the next time you visit. Okay, thanks for that. Bye.
Yeah.
Dumbass. Jesus Christ.
All right.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't think anyone grew up here.
No one does. No one else. Baron Boulogne used it as a hideaway for years after the Night of Sorrows on Dalna. He found me in a school for young geniuses when I was just 5 and brought me here. Taught me all about the mysteries of the world. Nurtured my love of the sciences, both natural and un. He made him play Surgeon Simulator.
No. Now I know what Alferis just referenced him when he said, I'm the frog on the table.
Yeah. Yep, that feels about right.
Yep.
Boy, is that not the perfect analogy. Getting dissected alive from by a 5-year-old. That is what this comic feels like.
Yeah.
But he always kept secrets from me, especially about the Nameless. And that's where you come in. Huh?
Run.
Yokai says, more senseless exposition. Yep. Siege has called it, lol. Charhounds. Gee, why would you be surprised by this? You only grew up on this fucking planet.
Quick, this way.
He didn't even have him bound. He didn't even have him cuffed or anything, too.
Yeah, wait, hang on. So if he's grown up on this world, right, and he knows that carhounds exist, why is he not packing a pistol?
He did.
Why is he not packing a vibro sword?
He did pack a pistol.
Why the fuck isn't he using it? He decides to run. Can he not run backwards and fire?
I don't know.
Jedi, I would shoot them, but I have the motor skills of a 5-year-old.
It doesn't help either. The fact that the Jedi is having to save his captor is fucking hilarious.
Oh, this is like a sitcom on like Stockholm Syndrome.
Paul Schlag says he didn't have binders on him; they were just holding hands. Siege says 10 internet dollars. Laughing Cavalier says this way. I say to the guy who claimed to grow up here. Yeah. Fairy says, you see, Jedi, shit happens sometimes. Sorry, you're gonna have to die. Yokai says, skipped a good action opportunity to give a bad action scene. Yes.
That is the entirety of this fucking storyline, it seems. The High Republic comics, no less. Like, we could have interesting action scenes full of, you know, flying blasters, explosions, Jedi lightsaber combat, and instead it's just some bald dude who apparently can't use a pistol in like a split second, and now he's gonna get dry humped by a lava dog.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
Mm-hmm. I help.
Come on, quickly now. What the fuck is up with his neck? Why is it so centered like that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Okay. And this dude here looks like this dude here looks like he's got one of those dog collar things on.
Yeah, he does.
The vet too, which makes it even funnier. We can't outrun them. Well, the Jedi can. He literally has force speed.
And force jump. So he can easily jump on top of that mountain.
Yes.
I know. That's what I know. That's why we have to get to the cavern. We can lose them inside. Go.
Except they're right on your heels, for one. Two, they're dogs. They have a sense of smell.
Yeah. I know. That's what like we cannot run them. Yes, I know. That's why we're continuing to run and not turn around and kill them.
Point 3, they also have superior eyesight at night.
Yeah.
So going into a cavern is a fucking terrible idea.
And like you can argue that the dude has a pistol, but the Jedi doesn't have his blaster, so it doesn't have his lightsaber. But as you can clearly see from the panel before, he completely force pushed the dog off him. He can clearly keep doing that to the other dogs because force push doesn't work like a single target. It acts as a wave almost.
Yes.
They can fight them.
They could absolutely wreck the shit out of them, but they're not doing that. And instead they're doing the worst thing you could do in this idea.
No, let's run away for contrived plots and pointless exposition.
Let's run away to a location that not only gives them multiple advantages, but also cuts off our means of escape.
Yeah. They don't know if this cavern has any exit.
They don't know if it has any exit. They could have jumped onto the pillars here, which the dogs would have struggled a little bit with, especially with the Jedi Force pushing them repeatedly.
There could be more car hounds down there.
That too. Just why would you do this? This is... Laughing Cavalier says, seriously though, I have no idea what force powers are what anymore in Star Wars CG. Does he have a geode in his pants, or is he just happy to see the dogs? Wait, was that in one of these panels? I don't see a geode of any, or a bulge of any sort. And also, the cavern's lit, so they could... well, at least it takes away the disadvantage of you not being able to see, but the dogs being able to see. And how the fuck did they lose the dogs this quickly?
Well, it's like Stanley once said, who wins out of Hulk and Iron Man? Whoever the writer wants to win.
Mm.
So the writer's just going to make the car hounds really dumb, really stupid. The Jedi and this Nihil dude are basically going to outrun the dogs, even though they just said they can't fucking outrun them.
I know.
And now they're walking at a leisurely pace.
Mm. Let's continue the stupidity.
Yay. Go, go, go.
I'm going.
Car hounds are incredibly territorial, and they almost never give up until they've caught their prey.
You're telling this to a person who grew up on this planet.
Well, I'm sorry, Ace, but maybe the Jedi finally maybe started thinking like us and realized that this motherfucker didn't actually grow up on this planet. Given how they just got ambushed by car hounds.
I know that. Didn't you just hear me say I studied the fauna of this cursed moon as a child? Yeah, even this comic is calling out the stupidity of its own writing. Daniel Jose Older is sitting there going, "Joke's on you, I know I'm a dumbass." There it is. It's where the Baron scrawled all his theories about the Nameless over the years. Why is it this, though? Could he have found any more practical way to transcribe this information?
So he didn't do it in a book, he didn't do it on a holocron, he didn't enter it as a data slate. He just started scribbling on a wall in a cavern on a random planet.
Did we just get teleported to ancient Egypt or something? Is that what this is?
I hope we fucking do, because at least ancient Egypt is a lot more interesting than this shit.
Yes. Let's continue the stupidity.
Yeah. The Carhounds are coming. Take this. I'll hold them off with the You could have fucking done that before.
Yes.
You could have done that before.
Yes.
Okay. I'll hold them off with the Force.
What's this?
It's from the notes of a former Jedi who spent over a century studying the Nameless. Aslan Rel.
I knew you had this somewhere. The Baron and I searched for years for Rel and his notes.
I believe when paired with the Baron's information, it will reveal the missing piece that we need to solve this puzzle.
But why would you give it to me?
Because I've studied you, Niv Drendau Aprok. And you're more like me than you'd ever want to admit.
Even though you didn't know which planet he grew up on. And apparently are ignorant of just how much he knew about the Charhounds, and are leading him by the hand, basically, over his own fucking planet.
But you see, Ace, maybe the Jedi knew this all along because they're mystical knights, and a Jedi never reveals their secrets. Ooh. Also, look at the next picture. Look at the zesty fucking eyebrows this dude's giving the Jedi.
Oh no.
That's you sly dog, and then they start kissing. I sense something within you. Something I know a thing or two about. Whoa, good. Nah, that is dialogue straight from a gay porn film. I sense something within you. What is it, goodness? No, something hard and throbbing.
Oh no, it gets even worse!
Oh no. Attachment?
What goodness?
No, not that. Attachment.
Wow, wow.
It's a fucking 80s porn guitar, down. Your loyalty is not to the Nihil.
You've lost your mind. Keep them back.
It's to knowledge. To the Nameless. You would do anything to learn more about them.
I love how the dogs are just sitting there letting them finish the exposition
before
resuming the murder. It's like playing a game. It's like a conversation from Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas or Oblivion, where in the middle of an epic battle, and you decide to just talk to a random NPC as a Deathclaw is 2 feet from your face.
Yeah, like the whole environment stops and he's there just lingering in the background, like, no, don't worry, I've got all day. I can imagine one car hound saying to the other, like, why don't we just go and kill them? Because, shush, they're having useless exposition, we can't interrupt them.
It's like watching it. I'm reminded when DBZ Abridged make jokes about this for turn-based RPG games. I can't go, Vegeta. It's his. It's not my turn. It's his turn now. Alvari says, are these dogs or cats? These are supposed to be dogs. I know, but Riley Moon says, you have the Schwartz. I sense it inside you.
Inside you.
God damn it. Paul says, are they looking for the rod as well? Oh, no. Let's continue. So,
and there's more to your... sorry.
So, what does that have to...
You would do anything to learn more about them. And I do mean anything. And there's more to your attachments. Something else. No. Someone.
What? No,
It's me. You have an attachment to me. Now kiss me before we die.
Kiss him, you
fool! That's why you showed up. So quickly after I sent out that message, you were already in the Tarabra sector. You were coming too.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, hang on. Wait, hang on, with the whole gay porno lens that we're trying to go for, what's that white stuff, like, flying towards his face with the on it?
Oh, no!
Quick, before I die!
This blue dude was surfing the Star Wars equivalent of the internet and got a message pop up telling him that there were hot single old men in his area. Sorry, there were hot single daddies in his area, and he wanted to see it.
Hey, you, this Nihil is banging bitches every night and you're fucking stupid. Click now to learn his secret. Honestly, that's why I like doing these streams, because you end up making your own fun compared to the actual fucking material. Like, there is actual comedy gold in this if you look at it from a different lens.
There is. Alfaria says, bro is busting out the mad milk. Oh, no. Oh, no. Ava Cavalier says, creamy Sheev returns. You knew I would show up, didn't you? That message you sent was bait.
Well, I did find someone who could get me to Vrantanum and help me figure out this mystery. You.
But you know who I work for, what I've done.
Do you know who's been our most valuable intelligence asset behind the Nihil lines? Your old friend, Drigget Pass.
Wait, just casually telling the Nihil your spies' names. Oh.
It's espionage mistake number 101. Telling them your point of contact.
What? She would never. Wait.
Who you were coming to check on at Iradu? Iradu.
Wait. You stopped holding those charhounds back.
I'm so glad you noticed. I was just about to say, hang on, weren't the Charhounds just chasing them a minute ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you seem to have missed one other attribute of Charhounds in your studies. They'll do anything for a Gork treat.
So that's why he had him run and not kill them immediately there. They're pets.
Yeah. And some scritches. What the fucking type of Reddit talk is this? A Gork treating scritches?
Yes.
Oh, fucking kill me now.
Please. Or please tell me these are actually supposed to be just pets and not feral that are letting you pet them.
Yeah, because that's how animals work. They suddenly trust you. Out of nowhere.
This is still cringe writing because there's numerous other things they could have done. There's numerous other things he could have done as part of this whole ingenious plan, but, you know. See, just treats and pets, for fuck's sake. Alfarius says, this guy went to OPSEC with Vogin, it seems. Oh. Siege says, haha, spy versus spy. Alfarius says, I get it with the trust exercises, just fuck already. And no, guys, he definitely planted those dogs there for this exact situation.
Yes, having pets so well trained that they ambush you in a canyon, give off a threatening aura. This dude then force pushes one of them. They just so happen to run into a cavern that had all this writing. Even when he led the run into the cavern, not the Nihil dude.
Mm.
Even though he was trusting the Nihil dude to lead him to the information, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Because they could have landed anywhere on the planet, and it just so happened across the whole planet to be in front of that cavern, of which he didn't know about.
A crash landing. Which, by the way, that plan makes it even worse because he didn't, why didn't those traps, he let the ship get blown the fuck up as part of his plan?
Yeah, the only fucking thing that I think is dumber than this is like that scene where the two lesbians don't know they found each other yet, and it was like, oh, in order to be reunited with my lover, I will turn into a local galactic warlord. I will befriend these pacifists. I will send these pacifists to go fight the local populace while the other lesbian is sending the local populace to die. Both of these people are sending the locals to die in their name, only for two lesbians to then suddenly be reunited and share a kiss, when at any point so many people die, and all of that could have gone wrong if somebody basically got off a killing shot.
Yep.
That's the only thing dumber than this plot, but this thing's holding a strong number 2 ace.
Yes, it is.
Okay, right. Now we have the same goal. The same mission. We're just on different sides at the moment.
Yes, it's true.
So let's get this mystery. So fuck off. So, what's new, Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you. We gotta solve that mystery.
The dogs are playing like sweetly in the background while they're busy studying.
One's chewing a ball. One's licking his paw. The other one's eeping. Oh, I get it. It's basically study time. It's like when you invited your friend over for like a couple of hours to study for tomorrow's test or something. That's what they're doing. Nice and friendly.
Oh god. With all of the gay porno overtones, that makes it even worse.
Yes, it does. It's like, oh, you're here to study. God, I can't focus. I'm just full of pent-up tension. The guitar's like, down. Is that a pencil in your pocket, or are you happy to see me? Wait a minute, hang on. Does that mean we can class animal abuse under Jedi war crime? Well, not war crimes, but Jedi crimes as well? Because one of his pets jumped to the Nihil dude. He turned around and he full on force pushes him.
Yeah.
He force pushes a dog. I'm not sure if you've seen the movies, Ace. You might have seen the very popular franchise called Star Wars. But if you've seen what happens when somebody gets fucking force pushed, it's not nice.
I know. So animal abuse on top of that.
Quick, Fido, jump that dude so I can push you. It's like, oh wait, hang on, what?
Hello once again, Republic dogs. It's your old nemesis, Nivdrendau. Apruk, back with your favorite Jedi, Emmerkaftor. You will be thrilled to know that I've cracked the code of Baron Bulan's scribblings, thanks to a little help from Imric here. Turns out, it's the key to piercing the veil, so to speak. The only way to make it through the impossible nebula labyrinth surrounding the mysterious planet of the Nameless. I'm sure there's no end to what you would do to get your grubby little Republic hands on that info. Well, now that I think about it, what would you do for that information?
Fuck's sake. What would you do for that information? Anything.
We're back to the homework. What are you going to do for me to help you get an A on this test?
Oh no. In order for you to get the A, you must first get the D.
You give me your A, and I will give you a...
Now, Mr. Apruk. You know, this is not a negotiation. We discussed this.
Okay, yeah, but I can still have access to Essence journals from my cell, right? You promise. Wait, he's going to jail anyways. He convinced him that he's going to jail. So long as he gets to keep notes.
I think one of the gayest settings you can set a porno in is a jail cell, so this train keeps on riding, baby. Once you're done with them, yeah. Now, let's send this little guy on his way. And get this intel safely into the hands of the Republic.
And that's the end. Oh, we get another one, this time with these two characters.
Oh my god, they finally fixed the blue dude's eyes.
Yay.
They're not freakishly anime anymore. I mean, the rest of the story is going to be shit because Kevin Scott's writing it.
Yeah. Alfarius says, what the fuck? Did he use a mind trick on him to make him accept going to jail? Who knows? What I know is I've spent almost an hour reading this comic, and I want it to end. Fortunately, there are no comments to this comic either. Alfarius says, oh wow. So yeah, thoughts on this particular comic?
If it wasn't for the gay undertones that we were suggesting throughout the whole comic, this
would be way less entertaining without that.
Yeah. It's fucking way less entertaining. I wouldn't even, there's not even a modicum of... it goes against entertainment, I'd call this blue balling the comic. Every single time you had an interesting setup for an action scene, it completely just skipped it or gave a contrived reason as to why it wasn't. This thing was missing so many hits off the beat that it's like Stevie Wonder playing baseball. It just couldn't fucking hit anything proper.
Yep.
It's so boring. Big explosive action scene in space. Now they're on the planet now. Ooh, Jedi and the Nihil dude have to team up in this uneasy alliance to fight off these deadly creatures who we might actually get a profile on. They could have had like a whole page dedicated to explaining the car hounds, what their abilities are, what they're like, a bit of the biology, to explain a species within Star Wars, which is one of its main selling points, explaining the vastly different flora and fauna across all the fucking planets. It's just a massive nothing burger. Instead, it's just force push one, as if the others couldn't catch up. Run into this cavern. Oh, they're quickly behind us, but they leave us enough time to do some dumb exposition. Oh no, they're here. And then, oh no, they have us surrounded. And then he throws them a treat. Maybe like, oh, they've got us backed up against the wall. Or maybe the Jedi was like, quick, take these papers, I'll hold you off. And maybe the Nihil dude's like, you know what, that Jedi sacrificed himself to save my life. I might help the Republic now, somewhat, because I at least owe it to his spirit for him sacrificing himself. But no, it's a big nothing burger. Ooh, it turns out my Reddit style fucking ooh big heckin' chunkerino doggos have a treat and some scritches, and all ends well, and it ends in a fucking study session, and they ambush their own Nihil dudes. Holy shit. What a fucking nothing burger. I forgot that. What was the point?
Yes.
What was the actual point of that whole thing?
We didn't even get the information that was from the notes.
Exactly.
So we just get completely screwed out of everything. This comic managed to offer us literally nothing. It promised us multiple action scenes and a big reveal, but it delivered on none of them.
The comic is like the namesake of the villains. It gave us fucking nothing. It's almost like coming full circle. Like, the whole point is to tell the story of the fight against the villains, who are called the Nothing. And in the end, the comic gives us nothing.
Paul Schlock says, what a nothing story. And when the ship got blasted by space mines, I thought it'd be a story about them trying to survive on a crippled ship.
That'd be cool.
That would have been interesting. Alfari says, yeah, the story is just nothing. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
If they included action scenes, it'd be rated X. I hate the fact that you're 100% right about that.
What are your thoughts on this comic, Ace? Does anybody ever ask you that? What are your thoughts?
It is a bad comic. It is a very empty comic. It is one of the most empty comics I've read in a long time. Is it the worst? No.
You see that logo in the top left? Dark Horse Comics. Remember what they used to do? Remember what they took from you? That they were a very respectable... Like, when people would look at a comic book and they see Dark Horse Comics, they'd be like, fucking hell, that must be good if they're covering it. Now you read it.
Okay, let me give the most pompous thought you could on this.
Okay, go on.
The most pretentious reading of it. It is a deconstruction of comic books as a whole. It managed to completely subvert my expectations by being shit in completely new and different ways. By offering me nothing.
It's almost like artistically and autistically impressive as to how bad this comic is.
It is anti-art.
Yeah. Like it's one thing for a setting to be dull and offer nothing, but it's a complete nother to have a setting based on a lava-filled moon full of ancient hieroglyphs about this ancient species between two people on opposing factions. One is a small galactic warlord. The other one is an imperial knight for space government who has special magical powers. With dangerous lava dogs. And at every single point of blue board, that is almost impressive. You have so many interesting factors that could pull together, so many interesting scenes you could have.
There's not
And
even
my balls have never been bluer.
There's not even any lava in this comic.
No, there's not. Like, the only lava that's in this comic is on the front page.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? Marooned on a lava moon. At what point does the lava kick in?
There's no lava. And they weren't even really marooned. They were stuck there for maybe a few hours or until the ship got repaired.
Mickey took Dark Horse and sent it to the glue factory. I couldn't agree more. The Laughing Cavalier. Jesus Christ.
Yes. This comic, like I said, it is anti-art. It takes an interesting setting, Star Wars. It provides setups that could have been interesting. The mines surrounding the ship, just crippling the ship, could have been interesting. Fighting off the Hellhounds could have led to something interesting. The big reveal of the information from these notes combined could have been interesting. So it gives you an interesting setting. It gives you potential setups and deliberately screws over all of that. This is the Freddy Got Fingered of comic books. Whereas Freddy Got Fingered was the antithesis of comedy, where it was anti-comedy, this is anti-art.
This is the comic book version of Freddy Got Fingered. I think that is a perfect statement.
At least Freddy Got Fingered got really fucking creative with how awful that could get.
Yeah.
At least that had actual effort put into it. Because it was deliberately shit. Alfari says, yeah, that's an insult to Freddy Got Fingered. It ironically is an insult to it. Paul Schluck says, this story was written during a bathroom break. Oh, fuck. I could probably write better during a bathroom break than this. Hell, you could probably go into a local stall and find a better written story than this. Alfaria says, this is bad like Rings of Power. Yes! Yes! Well, is there any... I think that pretty much covers my thoughts and all that. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Nathan?
There is one more thing that I noticed while you were rightly ripping into the comic. So, I know we talk a lot about, like, the art being absolute dog shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked on the side of the Jedi's cape where it's the artist's signature. I went and found the name. It says, obviously, in the cover art by Jake Bartok.
Okay.
Jake Bartok, I'm so fucking sorry that this is what your cover art are to be used on. Like, that front panel is interesting. Like, him pointing a lightsaber at that dude. At what fucking point does that happen in the story?
Yeah.
But actually, this is the comic book version of clickbait.
Yes, it is.
When does that happen? When is the lava moon when is the lava, like, actually inside the comic? Never.
Yeah.
This dude spent blood, sweat, and tears to draw, like, pretty much a very fantastic piece of cover art. Like, I can appreciate the lighting, the detail, you know, the symbolism of, like, the top and the bottom of, like, the dude being bigger than the Jedi, you know, which would allude to him being, like, the captor or the captor.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude on the bottom and pointing the lightsaber as if there's going to be some final showdown or they're going to fight. And then imagine it's like, oh, I got sent the comic for free because I did the cover art. Let's see what they used my cover art for. And he reads the story and he's hanging by a fucking noose in the next room 20 minutes later.
Oh,
I'm so sorry, Jake.
Oh. Seat says no lava, 1 out of 10. Yeah, this is the exact opposite of too much water. Except the thing is, we were fucking promised lava. Disney,
Yeah.
you lying fucks. Paul Schlock says they tried tricking people into reading. Yeah, this is actual borderline false advertising.
Yeah.
This is what I would expect a fucking con artist to pull. But this is Disney.
It's clickbait. It is the comic book version of clickbait. It literally gaslights you into reading it because you're like, ooh, interesting cover art. And I know that's the point of cover art, to make it interesting. But the point of cover art is to get you into reading it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start reading it, you then get, like, pulled along by the story. Not have interest in cover art, and then the only thing you gotta do is pay it, and that's when Disney's happy because one person bought the comic book.
Mm.
Inside, they could write whatever the fuck they want. You've already paid for it. It's what makes me glad about Read Comic Online, the website that we're fucking using, is that at least we can read this without having to give them a penny.
Laughing Cavalier says, the promise never lava. Paul Schlock says, release the lava cut. Laughing
The lava DLC will be released later for $13.99.
Alright, so yeah, I think we're at a good point to go ahead and call it. Is this comic worth reading? No, don't read it. The best part of this comic was the front cover art.
Yeah.
The second best thing was the unintentional innuendos.
Yes, the gay undertones.
And I think we're at a good point to go ahead and call it. I don't have anything else to add. Do you?
Nah, me neither. Already said everything we could.
All right, so I think we this has been Ace.
This has been Nathan X2000. Thank you once again for having me on.
Thank you for being on, and we both hope to see you all again soon. Paul Schlock says, no lava this Christmas. Nope, instead of lava, Disney gave us coal.
Sag.
But, in any case, this has been Ace. Hope to see you all again soon. Take care. Ace out.